So the countdown to this year's World Cup is well and truly on as 32 nations combine to create the greatest sporting spectacular on the bloody planet. But in this video, I'm going to try and answer you one simple question. Can Belgium win this year's World Cup? That's right, folks, back once again with another World Cup summary video. That's right, where we're going to try and answer one simple question. Can this nation actually go out and win the World Cup out in Qatar? We'll take a look at it, all of it, in a second. Of course, if you're new, where you been, smash your subscribe button, bang it. All things World Cup related, Blabbing Rovers related, world football itself related. We got it all here, boys, under one roof. Of course, the countdown is well and truly on, with the tournament set to kick off in November 2022, of course. But what's going to happen this coming World Cup? We'll take a look at all of it in a second. Of course, big shout out to my VIPs. They are the patrons, of course. And if you are interested in helping out the channel in another way, check out the links down below. I'm on Twitter, I'm on Twitch, I'm on Patreon, and of course there's a Discord in there. So get in amongst it and let's get chatting. All right then, folks, let's take a look at, of course, Belgium. That's right, one of the juggernauts who are waiting to get themselves some silverware. They've been, looks like they've been in a golden generation for absolutely 15, 20 years now. So is this the tournament that Belgium come out on top with a bit of glory? Of course, one major component on that setup is holding them back. I'll tell you about that in a minute. Of course, so Belgium qualified as Group E winners, which of course is reflected by the graphic down the bottom of the screen there. They came through unscathed against, of course, Belarus, Estonia, Czech Republic, and Wales. Of course, also joined Belgium in this World Cup out in Qatar. So they secured the deal on the 30th of November 2021. And of course, they wade through without defeat. 25 goals scored, 6 goals conceded, with convincing results over Belarus. And on the same 8-0 it was. This is their 14th tournament as a whole. Of course, they qualified last in 2018 out in Russia, where again they kind of failed to deliver in the grand scheme of things. Were they first, third, fourth playoff? I think it was their third tournament in succession. And of course, their best ever was back in 2018 when they did finish it in third spot. Will they go one step further and make the final? Of course, well, we'll see, won't we? Of course, they are managed by Roberto Martinez. Now, for me, in all honesty, if I'm going to be completely truthful with you, I think that's where they, of course, are weakest in the dugout. Of course, Martinez has been there for a long time now. He arrived as still a young coach, but now he's had 2 or 3 tournaments to try and make some success from Belgium, and I think that is where they are making a major mistake. Of course, if they're gonna, there are some great managers out there, coach tacticians who can take this team and make them a major force. I think Roberto Martinez flatters to the sea. Don't get me wrong, he's a great coach, great tactician, but with the tools in this locker, Belgium should be competing. They should be, and then yeah, okay, they come into this on the back of a World Cup where they did finish in third spot, but this is definitely the last chance saloon for Martinez. If he can't better third place, if he even equals it, I think it's time for him to move on and give somebody else a crack of the whip. We've got some good coaches out there who will be looking to take a team like Belgium that one step further and, of course, to bring home some glory. So the key individual, the VIP governor extraordinaire, is, of course, Kevin De Bruyne, and that's right, a fantastic individual for Manchester City, a face of the place, captain now, I think, for Manchester City, and, of course, a major face, if not the major face, for Belgium. Of course, they've got a who's who of talent, both in the front and the back, to actually put themselves in the bracket of actually serious contenders. Let's take a look at the group then, shall we? Of course, Belgium are in Group F, which, to be honest with you, on paper looks pretty much straightforward. And again, even with Roberto Martinez in the dugout, they should qualify through this as group winners. Of course, they do open up the campaign against Canada. Then, of course, they wrap match number 2 is Morocco, and then probably the most difficult of the 3 matches up against Croatia. But in all honesty, they should be qualified by match number 3 in my eyes. And I've got the key match for them is Croatia. That is going to be the difference between themselves being group winners and group runners up. Of course, Belgium come into this finishing in third spot from, of course, last year's World Cup. But guess what? Croatia went one step further. They made that final and they were runners up last time around. So we have the second and the third teams that finished in the last year's World Cup locking horns in Group F. Of course, and yes, like I said before that game, Belgium should surely qualify with some sticky opposition, I would say, with Canada and Morocco. You're not too sure what you're going to get. Of course, Canada haven't been at the World Cup for a long time. They're of course a bit of a dress rehearsal perhaps for themselves in 2026, where they'll probably be more established, of course, better prepared. But they'll come here with no expectation to get anything out of this and just enjoy the ride themselves. So that might actually work against Belgium, with of course all the eyes from Canada, and of course the third, the neutrals will be backing the Canadians when of course locking horns against Belgium in this year's World Cup. Of course, so again, Martinez has to get this right. He cannot afford any slip-ups. He's coming in here with that bronze medal around his neck from the last year's World Cup, and when you're presented with a group like this, you should comfortably qualify and put yourself through, not only as a qualifier, but also as group winners. You should be winning this group, no questions asked, especially with the tools in your locker. And again, if you do well, guess what? You're gonna remain. You'll remain, or it'll be the choice will be yours and not be made for you. So for me, yeah, Belgium should qualify out of this convincingly. They've got the players both at the front and the back. Eden Hazard, Torgan Hazard. Of course, they got Lukaku as well, who's scoring goals. He will score goals at this level. Of course, they are qualified 9-1 on. They are red hot favourites, of course, and to win it all as a whole, 14-1 to go the distance. So I think I'm ready for you, Linda.
Can they win the World Cup?
Well, of course they can definitely win this World Cup. They've got the metal, they've got the players, and of course they're riding on a crest of a wave from last time's World Cup where they finished in third. A lot of those individuals still there, especially, or maybe even concerningly, at the back, Alderweireld. Who else is out there? Of course, they've got some aging centre backs, which could be a major distraction or a negativity spot, a weak spot perhaps for Belgium as we get into those last stages. So realistically, I do think they are contenders. They are quarter-final material at the very least. But, Linda,
will they win the World Cup?
No, I don't think they will win the World Cup. Why? Because the man in the dugout for me is not the right guy. I think you could make a case for a lot of coaches out there who are looking for an opportunity to take a nation such as this to the pinnacle of world football, and I don't think, no disrespect to Roberto Martinez, but he's not the guy, of course. Yeah, and again, is there? I don't know about the breadth of Belgian coaches out there who's actually, maybe Vinny Company eventually will be the guy to lead this team, and again he's doing an okay job at Burnley right now, but again that's only his second job in football as a manager. So for me, I think they've got all the tools, but they've just got the wrong guy pulling the strings and commanding them from the dugout. So for me, quarterfinals at best, but I think they're going to get knocked out in the round of 16. Shocker-Rooney, absolutely shocker-Rooney, Belgium to flop in this year's World Cup. But anyway, that's my take on it. So there you have it, folks. There you bloody have it. A short, sharp take on this nation's chances out in Qatar 2022. What do you expect this country will do in this year's tournament? Do you think they'll get out of the group stages, or do you think they'll go deep into the competition itself? Let me know your opinion down below. And of course, we'll look forward to non-stop coverage right here at Blackburn Overseas. We're going to have, of course, predictions, previews, reviews, reactions, and of course, reactions from real fans themselves, of course. So that's all to look forward to this year out in Qatar 2022. So make sure you smash your subscribe, smash the thumbs up, and smash the little bell, boys and girls, as we look forward to a fantastic winter, or at least late 2022 of world football. Let me know your thoughts and opinions again about this nation, and of course the tournament itself in the comment section. But until then, guys and girls, I'll see you soon for the next one.